Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Hoytsma and we are back from Philadelphia. We spent the week there at ISTE, one of our favorite conferences of the year. So today we're here in ThinkUp Studios to spend a little bit of time talking about all things ISTE. I'm here today with Amanda Davis. She and I were at ISTE together this week and we had a great time together. Hey Amanda.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well thanks for being here. I know we had a busy week, so I thought we could just spend a few minutes talking about what went on at the show, what we learned, kind of what happened in the booth. So tell us maybe what did Mentoring Minds bring to the show and how did that go?
Well, this was I think my third time to attend ISTE, so I love it. And I love being in the Mentoring Minds booth because we were showcasing some of our products to all the educators out there and just getting responses from them. One of the products we showcased was Itematica. Basically, that's an online platform where we put all these questions that align with, no matter what state you're from, your standards. So it's a great tool for teachers to pull these questions and create assessments for their students. We brought ThinkUp, both print and digital, for teachers to look through and see. And lastly, we brought Team ThinkUp, which is kind of our student workbook for that talks all about the 9 critical thinking traits and getting both the teacher and the student understanding the verbiage and what those traits are. So we got a lot of great responses.
That's awesome. Well, we did have a lot of new products to show. So of the ones that we were showing at the booth, was there a customer favorite? Did one resonate more than others?
I will say I was surprised because when you walk around the Expo Center, there's just so many things talking about maker spaces, 3D printers, all these digital platforms. So I thought our digital platform would probably be the one that would get the most attention. But one thing I found with talking with all the educators, it was Team ThinkUp that got the most attention. And I think it was because of the 9 critical thinking traits. They saw, that's what drew them in. They saw that in the booth, and I think they saw that this was a gap that was missing, that all of a sudden we were defining and showing what does critical thinking actually look like. So that was the start of most of our conversations, and I feel like those conversations lasted the longest, and hearing what educators are doing in their classroom too was just all inspiring. So.
It does seem like there's just this assumption, right, that in order to be able to use all of the platforms and kind of build a makerspace and do all of the things that we're wanting to do with technology, right, that critical thinking is part of that, right? But what we heard from the educators we spoke with was they need a way to make that tangible, right, to make critical thinking visible. How do you teach it? How do you model it? How do you assess it? And so that seemed to really strike a chord with them.
Yeah, and so I think we were filling that gap that they saw was a need, so yeah.
It was fun. So did you have a favorite moment at the booth? Like what, I know we talked to a lot of people from all over the world, but did you have a favorite moment that sticks out to you?
Well, I think what you said right there makes me think of one of my favorite moments is that we talked from people all around the world. So I was meeting people from Hawaii, from Europe, but my favorite group was this group of boys that came over from Guadalajara, Mexico, and they were there showcasing a game that they had created, and they were there with their class, and there was 4 of them, and they came to the booth and they just were wondering about all the icons that you see flipping behind you right now. And we just had this great conversation because they were sharing that they'd created this game that they were showcasing, and I said, I bet you used a lot of critical thinking skills. So I went over the skills with them, and we had them on the table, and I said, right now at this moment, can you just point to the skill that you felt like you exercised the most, or the trait that you exercised the most? And it was so funny, all 4 of them chose a different one. And then we walked through and talked why did you choose this trait? And it was interesting to hear all their answers. One said examine, because they said they had to examine all angles to create this and research this to be able to create this product that they had. And another one said adapt, which I thought was really cool to see, because they said, nothing worked the first time and they continually had to adapt to get to their end product. And one said collaborate, which I thought was super powerful because all of them are bringing their own traits. Nobody chose the same one. And I think that just shows the power of collaboration. Without a team, they wouldn't have been able to produce the product that they came up with. So it was really cool to see. And I would say these kids were about 10 to 12 years old, and to see what they're creating and the excitement that they were creating, and that they were even recognizing the critical thinking that had to go into creating that end product.
So that's amazing. Yeah, we had a lot of really powerful conversations, and we learned a lot too. So It was a great experience.
Yeah.
But now we want to hear from you. So we talked a little bit about what we learned at ISTE and kind of things from from our experience. So we'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you learned. Tell us what your favorite session was, your favorite booth. Let us know. Tag us at Mentoring Minds on Twitter, and we'd love to hear from you. Thanks.